thank you to Dossier for sponsoring today's video. Today, we'll be looking at some of the most strangest mysteries that no one has been able to solve. From heists to disappearances and even murders. Let's talk about this and more only in today's video. Starting off this countdown, we have the money heist. On December 10th of 1968, a man dressed as a police officer managed to successfully steal more than 294 million yen. So on this day, a car belonging to a bank was transporting money from one location to the other. That's when a man dressed as a police officer stopped the truck. He then told the workers that their branch manager's home was just blown up, and he had reason to believe that this car was rigged with an explosive as well. The police officer then crawled underneath the vehicle to see if there was a bomb underneath there. While underneath there, he set off a flare. So a bunch of smoke and flames started to appear from underneath the van. The workers panicked, got out of the car, and backed away, thinking that it was going to explode. This allowed the officer to hop into the car and drive away with all the money. Police, to this day, have no suspects. One of their suspects that they thought was maybe a corrupt cop or a son of a cop. Still, they were never able to catch this man. And in December of 1975, the statute of limitations passed on this case, so even if they did figure out who took all this money, there's nothing that they can do about it, which is wild. Coming in at number 9, we have the Babuska Lady. The Babuska Lady is this mysterious woman that gets her name because she was wearing what looked like a Russian headscarf. She was captured in the background during the 1963 assassination of President JFK. Here's the thing, she was seen taking a photo at the same moment that JFK was assassinated. When shots were fired, people ducked to cover, but not her. She stood there and just took pictures of the action. She garnered so much attention that the FBI even started to look for her, but they failed. And this woman never came forward and, said this was me, I have the footage of exactly what happened. Maybe she didn't want the attention, but there's a lot of conspiracy theories surrounding her. One is that she was actually a part of the assassination. All right, folks, we've been talking a lot about mysteries, but you know what shouldn't be mysterious? Smelling good. Thank you so much to Dossier for sponsoring today's video. You guys know I have worked with them before. I absolutely love their perfume, so they sent over 2 more fragrances for this month, and I'm about to do a little sniff test. So first up here, powdery coconut. Again, I forgot what I ordered, so this is great. Oh, I'm so excited. Powdery coconut. Okay. Stop. This is so good. This is insanely good. Oh my gosh. I think this was one of their top sellers too, which totally makes sense. And in our other mystery box over here, I do not know how to pronounce this. Aromatic Star Anise. Oh! This one is, I don't know which one I like better. Oh man, they're so good. And what's amazing is that you can smell bougie without breaking the bank. Their perfumes are designer quality, but without the designer price, which is absolutely amazing. And they don't do animal testing. And I honestly just love everything about Dossier. So you can smell good and you don't have to break the bank. So if you guys are interested, you can check the link in my description. I will also put my discount code on the screen right now. So get an even more discount on already discounted fragrances and smell amazing. What's coming up? Mother's Day? Makes the perfect Mother's Day gift. I don't know. So thank you so much again to Dossier for sponsoring today's video. Coming in at number 8, we have the Big Grey Man. The Big Grey Man is said to be a cryptid that haunts the summit of Ben Macdui in Scotland. Some people think it's just an urban legend, but other people say that they have actually seen this creature. It is said to be an extremely tall, human-like creature. It is over 10 feet tall with short hair and broad shoulders and long arms. Needless to say, you definitely don't want to encounter it. But like I said, there have been a number of eyewitnesses that say that this beast is real. And to this day, scientists haven't been able to come up with an explanation to explain all these sightings of this creature. Moving on to number 7, we have the Spaceman. In 1964, Jim Templeton spent the day taking photos of his wife and daughter in a field. But when he got the photos developed, he noticed a strange figure in the background. It appeared to be a spaceman right behind his daughter. Now, the only other people there that day were some older ladies, and it wasn't them. Jim was freaked out by all this, and this story actually gained a lot of attention. A lot of people were calling him a fraud and saying that the photo was fake, but then you had experts take a look at the photo and say that there was no way that it was doctored. Even an expert at Kodiak took the photos and were like, yeah, this is real. It hadn't been altered with. Not only that, but Jim and his family were actually visited by two men in suits and demanded that he took them to where the photo was taken. When Jim told them that he never saw the figure in person, the men became angry and drove away. So, what is this figure in the background? And how come two men in suits were like, take me to the spot? A lot of people were saying that it was an alien or like some weird astronaut. I don't know. I really don't know. But why were two like scary government official type people mad at him and being like, yo, let's talk about this, you know? And at number 6, we have the Dyatlov Pass incident. This is one case that will always keep me up at night, and I wish I could dive into so much detail about this case, but not in today's list. If you want a whole video on it, let me know. In February of 1959, a group of 9 experienced hikers set up to traverse the snowy mountains of Siberia. However, they all ended up mysteriously dying one by one. So during the night, something caused them to cut their way out of their tents and flee the campsite. These hikers were found not properly dressed, and some of them were found completely naked. Some died of hypothermia, others died from trauma. So what exactly happened that night? Was it an animal attack? Some sort of cryptid? One theory is that it was like infrared sound attack, like infrasound attacked. There's so many crazy theories out there because like they're all experienced hikers. How do they all end up in the morning, you know? We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the Oakville rain blobs. In August of 1994, something very strange fell from the sky in Oakville, Washington. At first, people thought that it was just rain, but it was definitely not water. It was these strange, clear blobs. One person revealed that they were mushy, almost like jello. This mysterious substance rained down 6 times over a 3-week period. And guess what? Anyone exposed to this substance became very ill. One resident had difficulty breathing, blurred vision, intense nausea, and vertigo. Another resident said that everyone in town contracted a flu-like illness, and it lasted up to 3 months. And then, sadly, several pets like cats and dogs also became very ill. What's weird is that after inspecting the substance, it said that it contained human white blood cells. How are human white blood cells falling from the sky in a form of precipitation? This doesn't make sense. Is the government controlling our weather system and then they accidentally released this? What are these blobs? I want to know. Comment your theories in the comments below. And at number 4, we have the stolen work. Now this mystery actually revolves around Ernest Hemingway. You know, the well-known American journalist. In 1992, Hemingway's wife, Hadley, was living in Paris while he was traveling Europe as a reporter. While he was in Switzerland, he wrote to his wife and asked her to join him in Geneva. He also told her that when she was coming, to bring some of his unpublished manuscripts. So she packed 4 years worth of his work in a suitcase and was on her way. And most of the work was originals, not copies. She then boarded the train in Paris and put that suitcase in the luggage compartment. She left for a couple of seconds to get some water, and when she returned, the suitcase was gone along with all his valuable work. Even after searching the entire train, they never found the suitcase or his work. So, who took this work? No one knows. Also, how did they know that that was Ernest Hemingway's wife and that she was going to be carrying those important documents? Crazy. And at number 3, we have the Burl Triangle. Turns out that France has its very own Bermuda Triangle. The Burl Triangle is a snowy highland area where several unexplained aircraft crashes have occurred. Apparently, more than 60 people have died in unexplainable crashes in this area. But that's not all. It's thought that UFOs are the ones responsible for these crashes. In November of 1943, a Halifax plane crashed in this area. Only one person survived. Now, the survivor said that before they crashed, they saw another aircraft coming towards them with multicolored multicolored lights. Then in 1963, another plane crash occurred. While this plane went down, witnesses claimed to have seen small pink spheres surrounding the plane. And I think this one is the freakiest. In 1971, another aircraft went down, killing all 17 of its passengers. However, an extra corpse was found and it was never identified. To this day, we don't know what is responsible for these crashes, who the extra corpse is, and if UFOs are really involved. Do you believe in aliens? Let me know in the comments below. In at number 2, we have the farm murders. On March 31st of 1922, 6 family members were killed with a pickaxe on a farm. What's weird is that the murderer ended up living on the farm 6 days after the murder, so he was just chilling in their house. The killer was taking care of the cattle, was using their kitchen to cook meals for themselves, and that's crazy. But when the police came to search, the killer had fled. Now, what makes this case scarier and more chilling is that a previous maid said that she recently quit because she thought that the house was haunted. She heard voices and footsteps coming from the attic. So police actually think that the killer was living in the attic for a long time before committing these crimes. To this day, the killer has never been identified. So was it someone just chilling in the attic and was like, actually, I want to live in this house, and then killed everyone off and was like, now I'm on the run? Like, what? And in our number 1 spot today, we have The Note. On September 2nd of 1994, 27-year-old Mayumi Arashi vanished after leaving her family home in Tokyo, leaving behind her newborn child. On that day, she told her sister Yoko that she was going to be meeting up with a man named B. The next day, she didn't come home. B was then contacted, and they never even had plans to meet in the first place, or so they say. Then her sister found a note from Mayumi saying that she really was going to meet someone else by the name of A. The police never referred to these people with their full names, so that's why it's just like A and B, you know? Her sister then hired a PI to track down A, but he was never found guilty. Here is where it gets very strange. In 2011, the family did a television interview about Mayumi. In the interview, Mayumi's father had a note in the background of his room on a shelf that said, "Don't believe what Yoko says." Sadly, Mayumi was never found, and no one actually knows what happened to her, or if her sister was involved. Alright folks, that is all for today's video. If you want to see a part 2 to this, then let me know in the comments below. And while you're down there, obviously smash that button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you again, Dossier, for sponsoring today's video. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan. Stick around for some bloopers, and I'll see you when I see ya. Bye. So on this day, the workers panicked and backed away, which is absolutely amazing. The Big Gray Man is said to be a cryptid that haunts the summit of Ben MacDewey. Okay, cool. And at number 6, we have the dyatlov. And at number 6, we have the Dyatlov Pass, set out to travel the snowy mountains of Siberia. These hikers were not properly. In 1992, the Burl Triangle is a snowy highland area where several unexplained aircraft crashes have occurred. Now, this 27-year-old Mayumi Arashi. Yoko then hired a PI to track down A, but he was never found. Now, this mystery actually resolves.